I had the mindset of ABC or nothing.
What is this ABC or nothing? I don't understand.
What most students call ABC is basically Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, or the Holy Trinity.
When did you start taking your mocks, our famous SimCATs?
I started with my mocks a bit late. I started in June. But yeah, I started catching up soon. They were amazing. I think one of the best, something that I've seen at par with CAT levels. The score that I got in SimCAT 20, whether it be my total score, my sectional score, and the scale score that I got in CAT 24, they are exact.
So, which all interview calls did you receive with a fantastic CAT percentile?
From DACI, I got a call from Calcutta, Lucknow, Kozhikode, Indore.
How did that interview experience go for you?
It was an amazing interview. The faculty were very considerate, and it was a very good conversation with all of them.
So now that you've decided that you are going to join IIM Calcutta, what are you most looking forward to in Joka? Hi everyone, welcome to IMS's YouTube channel. My name is Debro Podar, National Chief Mentor at IMS Learning, and I am so excited to welcome you to this amazing personality sitting in front of us, one of our dear IMS students, classroom students, who's converted several amazing B schools and is here to share his journey with us. So without any further ado, let's get started.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
All well. So tell everyone who's watching this particular video about yourself, about a little bit about your profile.
Okay, so my name is Shivam. I am a BCom honors graduate from Mithibai College. I have been working with Morgan Stanley for the past 1 year. I scored a great 99.87 percentile in CAT, and currently I'll be joining IIM Calcutta this year.
Fantastic. 99.87 percentile, you said.
Yes,
That's
sir.
fantastic. So when did you decide that you wanted to start with the CAT prep? How did you go about this journey from BCom at Mithibai to working at Morgan Stanley for about a year and now into CAT prep and joining a B school? How was that decision framing exercise for you?
So I'll start with Morgan Stanley. I interned at the firm
Okay.
before my third year. I received a pre-placement offer from them, and I was going to join them in June of 2024. In March and April, I somehow realized that okay, I think I should look towards my future, and I should think about CAT. I should think about MBA, and as such, I just inquired with my friends as to how to prep, and I started my prep in April.
So you mentioned that you're joining IIM Calcutta,
Yes.
a fantastic institute to join. Did you have this in your target when you began? What was the initial days of preparation like?
So during the initial days of preparation, I was, like most students, I had the mindset of ABC or nothing. And yeah, I'm very happy that I've converted.
What is this ABC or nothing? I don't understand. What is this ABC or nothing mentality?
What most students call ABC is basically Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, or the Holy Trinity.
Okay.
Amazing institutes. They've got a fabulous alumni, and everything about them is so great. And as such, I had the mindset of why not study from the best.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, okay, I'll just focus on these three. And yeah, that's what I did.
So, often the best profiles want to study from the best institutions. And I think that mentality is clearly shown in the way that Shivam had set his target and in the way that you're communicating right now as well. So, IIM Calcutta, one of the Holy Trinity you mentioned, you began in April 2024.
Yes.
How did you go about beginning your prep? Did you have IMS in your mind? How did you come to know about IMS?
So I had a few friends who gave CAT the previous years, a few people who converted IIM Ahmedabad and other institutes as such, and all of them mentioned IMS to me.
Friends from college?
Friends from college, friends I just knew, two people, all of them mentioned IMS, and as such, it was also near my college. So I was like, okay, let's take a shot.
So which center was that?
I was a part of the IMS Juhu Center.
So I believe that's walking distance from your campus.
Yes.
From your UG college.
Yes.
So that was helpful?
No, that would have been helpful, but I had just graduated. So I was working then when I started my prep, so
okay.
I had to travel a bit. But yeah, the center is amazing. The infra was amazing.
Okay, so when you began your CAT prep in April 2024,
Yes.
Who started teaching you? Who were your favorite mentors?
Personally, I had many mentors at the IMS Juhu Center, but specifically two teachers that I have to give credit for my success right now are Pranshu sir, my VRC mentor, and Danish sir, my mentor for Cons and DLR. These two people guided me throughout my journey, and especially Pranshu sir, he guided me to each and every step of the journey, whether it be prepping for interviews, writing essays, everything.
That's awesome. We often tend to forget the people who were there by our side, and then when we achieve that success, we definitely remember them fondly, right? And it's so great to hear from you that you're remembering our dear IMS mentors, who are not just experts in their subjects, but they are wonderful guides. I would assume
Definitely.
that's why we call them mentors, right? And not just teachers. They're mentors who, just like you, have guided so many of our IMS students to incredible success. What was your experience in the IMS classroom like? You took the weekend batch then as a working professional?
I started with the weekday batch,
Weekday batch.
and
Okay.
as soon as my job started, I shifted to the weekend batch. A
Okay.
transition that was gratefully supported by the faculty. And during the weekend batch, I had amazing peers, and the timing and everything suited me. So I was very happy with that.
Transition between weekday to weekend batch was smooth.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. And when did you start taking your mocks, our famous SimCATs?
I started with my mocks a bit late. I started in June, um, but yeah, I started catching up soon. They were amazing. I think one of the best, something that I've seen at par with cat levels.
That's great to hear. We are known for our SimCATs, the way that the SimCATs are designed, even the way that the students give us feedback about the SimCATs is very critical. Any particular SimCAT you remember?
Oh, absolutely. I think the last SimCAT number 20. This is a story I like to share with people. The score that I got in SimCAT 20, whether it be my, total score, my sectional score, and the scale score that I got in CAT 24, they are exact to the dot.
Wow.
It's something I just like sharing the two screenshots with people. Okay, look at this, how close this was.
I would love to see that screenshot.
Oh, definitely. After
And
this,
that's a very good insight. I mean, that just shows how cat-like our SimCATs are actually. This is a very, very good revelation. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that with us. So SimCAT 20 was your most memorable. Were there any points in your entire experience of prep where you faced some not so great moments, down moments?
I think one of the SimCATs before SimCAT 10, I do not remember which one, but yeah, I scored a 62 percentile in that mock. And I had this recurring 2, 3 mocks where I was just dipping.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was in shatters during that time, and I reached out to Scrabble sir. I asked him, okay, what's happening? Can you help me out? And he just said, Shivam, this might be a burnout issue. You just have to see, you've done this 3, 4 times, you've scored good marks. So it means that you are capable. So all you have to do is calm down, relax, find out what's the problem. And I think his suggestions, his advice really worked for me.
So you must have taken a My Plan session to speak to Scrabble, sir. Was that the case?
No, so I was a part of the Club 100.
Club 100, correct.
Yeah, so Scrabble sir was over there, and he was quite active. He helped out. He helped a lot of us out with our doubts and everything. And I put this across to him. Listen, I've been scoring good in mocks. Suddenly, I'm seeing a dip in form.
Yeah.
What can I do? And he helped out a lot. Words of motivation, words of advice from him.
That's fantastic. For anyone who's watching this, Shivam, do you mind elaborating a little bit what Club 100 is and how you got to be a part of this group?
So Club 100 is basically for students who are scoring more than 90 percentile in 2 or 3 mocks. And as such, for me, one of the starting motivation for me during my prep was, okay, I got to get into Club 100. I want to see what it is. And in Club 100, what happens? You get to discuss with peers who are scoring in the top percentiles during their CAT journey. And we also have weekend sessions where Scrabble sir, who has scored 100 percentile in CAT 14 times, and other teachers are there to constantly guide you, advise you.
That's fantastic. You've done a better job explaining it than I would have. But that one thing that I found very interesting you said is that people are trying to first get into Club 100 as a initial part of their goal when they begin their prep, which is fantastic to hear. So let's move on. So the 99.87 percentile, right? But the CAT day must have been tough, right? CAT 2024. Or how did you go about that day? What was something memorable, interesting, or unique that you'd like to share about the CAT day?
So I was in slot 1 for the CAT 24 exam session, and the center was 40-50 kilometers away from my home.
Okay.
So I had to wake up at 5 in the morning. We are going there. And see, personally, one thing that I found very interesting was the center was very far away from the city. It was quite calm. So it was kind of like a picnic for me. And then the exam started, and suddenly, because of God knows what, I panicked a little.
Okay.
I panicked a little, and then I just had to calm myself down.
In which section was this?
Oh, this started with verbal.
No, the panic happened during the verbal
Yeah.
VARC section.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I panicked a little, and then I just had to calm myself down, because one thing that I have learned from many people, my mentors or other students, is that CAT is also a game of nerves. You have to keep yourself calm. You have to keep yourself focused. So during verbal, I panicked a little, but as soon as DLI started, I'm like, okay, Shivam, calm down. This is still your game. And DLI section, I just went through it. All sets, I attempted all of them. I went through it with the V's. So you just have to keep yourself calm. This is something that I still remember about CAD, is that okay, Shivam, you've got this, we can do it.
That's fantastic. And I'm sure your experiences of taking the SimCATs would have helped you remember moments like this where you would have felt some moments of panic and then trying to calm yourself down from the learnings that you would have received from the mocks.
Definitely. So SimCATs, personally, what I feel, they made me acclimatize to the environment that the CAT exam is in, and the format and the view that the SimCAT provides is extremely similar to what CAT provides. And as such, I was aware of what's going to happen in the next question, what's going to come up. Like, I was prepared. There wasn't anything new on the screen other than the questions and the options. So for me, it was just as if I was just giving another SimCAT.
Fantastic to hear. And once the CAT 2024 results were out, then begins the GDPI prep. So as part of the classroom program, you had access to all our GDPI resources, all our GDPI training. How did you leverage it to the fullest? How did you feel that the IMS GDPI resources supported in your interview preparation?
So, see, firstly, when GDPI or what PI, you got to start preparing for it, the thing is, there is no fixed syllabus as such. Everything under the sun, everything from your past is there up for grabs. So, firstly, starting, where do I start? So, I think IMS had materials as to the 5 buckets, the things that you've got to prepare for. So, that was a good starting point. And once I had prepared that, then I had mentors, especially Pranshu sir. He helped me out a lot, whether it be reading my essays, giving me advice as to what can be done better, or other IMS mentors like Panchmatia sir and other mentors who took my interviews, and they were giving me amazing advice that I ended up using, and that helped me get my.
I'm not surprised by the value addition that the GDPI resources as well as the mock PIs that our mentors take must have added to your entire GDPI prep journey. And this prep journey was meant for the interview calls. So which all interview calls did you receive with a fantastic CAT percentile?
So something, I placed a risky bet on myself. I just filled forms for Blackie.
Okay.
I did not fill any other form.
Okay.
And from Blackie, I got a call from Calcutta, Lucknow, Kozhikode, Indore. And as such, I gave interviews for Calcutta, Lucknow, and Kozhikode, because I entered CAT with the mentality of it's got to be ABC or nothing.
Wow.
I'd rather get into Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, or I'll repeat CAT itself.
Okay. So I believe that was driven by not just the fact that you wanted to do your MBA from the best institutions, but also because you had an opportunity to retake it if you wanted to, right? Absolutely. And that's very important for people watching in the audience to understand this, that there are reattempts that you can take with the CAT. When you decided to fill the CAT application form, it must have been a risky call nonetheless to just fill 6 out of the 21 IIMs, right? Once you did that, did you have any regrets at any point of time that maybe I should have filled more, or were you absolutely certain?
See, there will always be moments of self-doubt, but for me, it was about, okay, Shivam, you have no plan B. You've got to get a great percentile. That's the only way you're getting out of this.
Interesting. So the lack of plan B, I think, motivated you even further to optimize your CAT percentile.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at it now, I would not advise anyone to do it. It's better to fill all the forms. But yeah, that is something that helped me a lot.
Okay, interesting. And let's come to the IIM Calcutta interview conversation, the one that you converted and are, have earned the right to join. How did that interview experience go for you?
Amazing. I think when I entered the room, there were multiple professors. The conversation, I won't go into detail, but I think the conversation focused firstly on my work at Morgan Stanley.
Okay.
Then we moved on to various questions from subjects like accounts, quants. Then we shifted to various scenario-based questions with Donald Trump and his tariffs coming in.
Okay.
And I think some of the things, I think the way that I behaved, the way I talked, something that a mentor from IMS had given me advice. Shivam, just be yourself. I think that helped a lot in me converting. And other than that, it was an amazing interview. The faculty were very considerate, and it was a very good conversation with all of them.
Got it. So broadly, the interview conversation was around the work experience, around your
academics
your
and
academics,
current affairs.
Current affairs, right? So point to be noted about for all future MBA aspirants that these are the general topics, and of course we at IMS guide around all of these areas when it comes to interview prep. Any other interview experiences that you would like to share, something unique or interesting that happened along your journey?
So my first interview, IIM Lucknow interview. So this is something that came out of the box. The interview started about me explaining the number of people that I have in my family. It's me, my brother, my father, and my mother. And then they straight up asked, younger brother or elder brother? I said younger brother. And the interview for the starting 5-10 minutes just evolved around my younger brother, what he's doing, what is my role in his life, and that just took me off the spot because that was not something that I had prepared for.
Sure.
That was something that I did not expect they'll be asking that.
But you were able to manage yourself in an
definitely.
uncertain situation like
Definitely.
this. Fantastic. So now that you've decided that you are going to join IIM Calcutta, what are you most looking forward to in Joka?
See, personally, two things. Firstly, I've heard that it's the campus of the lakes, and I'm very excited about that. It's from the pictures that I've seen, it's a very beautiful scene campus. I am someone who is in love with nature, and I'm very excited for that.
Sure.
Secondly, I have looked at the professors, the faculty over there. They are people who are very accomplished, and people that I would love to learn from and gain insights from. So absolutely looking forward to be one of the students in their classrooms.
Fantastic. I don't mean to make the next question sound like an interview question to you, but do you have any short-term and long-term plans in what you are looking to do after IIM Calcutta?
Suppose IIM Calcutta, as someone who has worked in finance, someone who is intrigued by the world of consulting, I think I'm looking at those two domains. Nothing specific as of now, nothing planned. I'm open to anything in campus.
Yeah.
But let's see where life takes me.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing, your interview experiences. I'd love to know now if you have any words of wisdom, any piece of advice, any tips, mantras that you'd like to share with the MBA aspirants who are watching this particular video from such a successful profile like yours who's converted the top colleges. I'm sure that the audience would be very much interested to know any advice coming from your side.
Personally, something that I have realized during my CAT prep is you've got to remain consistent. Prepping for CAT alongside my job, I had to manage my schedule. I had to constantly give mocks and analyze them. And there are days then where you feel tired, but you've got to constantly remain consistent. You've got to focus, and you've got to remember what you're fighting for. It's gonna be a tough fight, but everyone can do it. You just have to remain consistent, and you have to remain smart.
That's very well said. Consistency being the key, and remembering why you have embarked on such a difficult journey. It's not an easy journey, right? It's not something that is easily attainable, but when it is, then it feels superb, right?
Amazing.
Amazing, right? Thank you so much for speaking to us. It has been a pleasure, and it has been a pleasure to speak to you, to guide you in this entire journey from IMS's side. And kudos to Pranshu sir. He has been mentioned quite a lot in this video. So kudos to him and the entire IMS Juhu team for guiding such a wonderful candidate. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and we wish you all the very best. Thank you so much.